This is the only defending tutorial you need. Yes guys, I actually mean it. First up, we have to talk about advanced defending. Advanced defending is a new feature this year which allows us to perform a shoulder tackle by pressing the X button, right? So if you press X, your player will perform a shoulder tackle like this, and it is ridiculously overpowered. As you guys can see, Haaland is through on goal, right? And there is no way we can stop him from scoring. But in FC24, if your player has bruiser and anticipate playstyles, it is going to be even better. Look what VVD does. He simply pushes Haaland off the ball and he eats Alvarez like he isn't even there. So if you want to stop one-on-one situations and make last-ditch tackles, guys, then the advanced defending feature should be on, and it is absolutely game changing. Yes, this is going viral, but what if I told you spamming this X button will not make you a better defender? And yes, I mean it. Let me show you why. Still to this date in EAFC, the most important defending mechanic, regardless if you are on advanced or tactical, is the jockey button. I know this tutorial has been helpful, so click that like button. Now what happens when you are not using the jockey button? Look, if I am just sprinting like I am, it is very easy for the opponent to beat me because I am not able to mirror his movements, right? It is very easy for him to burst past me. But now if I were to use the jockey button, I would have more control over my player. Look, it's a 2 versus 1 situation, and what am I doing? I am using both L2 and R2. I am able to cut the passing lane while also making sure that I apply some pressure on the ball carrier. Now I can keep my shape and also move quicker. My player will adapt this defensive style and he will be in motion to get the ball back. So using the jockey button is very important. The jockeying you can see on your screen right now is called running jockey, and there are 2 more types of jockey buttons that you need to learn. We use running jockey when we want to cut passing lanes and apply quick pressure on the opponent and mirror his movements quickly. Speed jockey is best used to intercept the ball as well. However, you cannot use it all the time. Just like with advanced defending X button, you cannot use it all the time. You have to have situational awareness, right? Look at this in-game example. We want to intercept the ball. And what are we going to do? We are going to select our player and use the running jockey button to come in front of this player. It is best used for intercepting the ball, like I said. Now you might be wondering, what should I do in one-on-one situations? This is exactly what you need to do. You need to master the gas and brake technique. What is the gas and brake technique? Simply put, the R2 button is the accelerator and the L2 button is the brake, right? So we have to combine both of these buttons. I want to accelerate at the highest possible speed. Which button am I going to use? Am I going to press X from right here? No, I am not going to do that. What I am going to do instead is hold the R2 button and sprint towards this space so I can cover it. It is called the gas and brake jockey technique, right? Once I am close, I will use the third technique, which is the manual jockey or the brake technique, and that is just holding the L2 button, which we will talk about more later on. And see, we will get the ball back easily. Once again, you can see this is what happens when you press the shoulder tackle button, which is the X button. It is great, it is overpowered, of course, but you have to use the other defensive mechanics and you cannot forget the basics. Basics are the key. People who tell you that abuse one thing and you're going to become a master defender are setting up false expectations. Because FC is a game of fundamentals. That brings me to fundamental number 2, which is next player switching. You want to set it to closest to ball. Why do you want to set it to closest to ball? Because it is the most consistent way of switching. Look, you have to combine right stick switching with L1 switching. So as you can see, I am using right stick switching in combination with L1 switching. My goal here is to keep a straight back line while also applying pressure to the opponent, right? So what am I actually doing? I am combining both L1 switching with right stick switching. And if I click L1, he will always switch to the closest player possible. And now I know, okay, it is consistent. Whenever I press L1, it will switch to the closest player possible and it will give me more control over my team. I know many people have this confusion which setting they should use. Use closest to player and improve your right stick switching. Let's talk about gameplay examples, guys, and I want you to watch each and every one of them so you don't miss out on the little details. Here we will talk all about fundamentals to help you become the best possible defender that you can be, right? Look at this example, guys. Most people think that defending is only about defending inside the box. No, that is not the case. Defending starts from the moment you lose the ball in the opponent's half, right? And that is why you need to start focusing on it that way. Your goal should be to not let the opponent come inside the box as easily. And how can you achieve that? Simply put, focus on this example, right? We are using the gas button, which is R2, and we are cutting passing lanes, we are applying pressure. And our goal is to trap the opponent into making a mistake. Our back line is straight. There are 2 to 3 rules of defending. The first rule of defending is to always keep a straight back line. Because we have a straight back line, we are able to maintain shape. We pull our player out of position, it's no problem. We still have control over our switching. That is why we switch to this guy and cover Vinicius Jr.'s run, because that is the most dangerous run that is happening right now. Which brings me to rule number 2, always mark the dangerous runs. Yes, you have to improve your switching for that, but it will come with time. So focus on L1 switching in combination with right stick switching, right? See, and we are able to win the ball back because we used anticipation. Now look, you might say, King Sunny, you just told us not to pull players out of position, but what is this? Your center back is completely out of position. And yes, that is true. But see, I switched to Lazari, who is my right back, and I am running back. So my opponent will think he pulled his player out of position, I can make the through ball, but when he does make the through ball, I get the ball back from him. Remember what I said, defending starts the moment you lose the ball. And what am I actually doing? I am trying to get the ball back from the opponent. We are using partial team press, that is double tap R1, and 2 of our players are applying pressure. Liao and this female PSG player is applying pressure, and we are directly applying pressure with Barella. So what are we actually going to do? We are going to end up winning the ball back because we trapped him, and that is also going to give us an attacking opportunity. Look, in this situation we pull our player out of position, and now what most people are going to do? They are going to take this Varane and pull him out of position, but we know we cannot give him easy space. So what are we going to do? We are going to jockey back with Varane, and we are using second man pressure with the R1 button. So this girl, she applies pressure on Molina while we jockey back with Varane. The moment she starts to do that, we are in shape. Now look, again, it's all about keeping your shape and not letting the opponent have a lot of space. Brings me back to gas and brake technique. You have to know all those jockey tricks, and in combination with the shoulder charge, your defense will go to the next level. But if you don't master the fundamentals, you will only go so far. You will keep spamming the X button and you will just look like a silly noob without being able to defend at all. Look guys, we once again switched to Kunde and we won the ball back manually. Once again, the opponent is on the counter attack. First rule of defending, that is a straight back line. So you need to focus on all these 3 fundamentals. Otherwise, your defense will not go to the next level by just spamming the X button, right? So what happens when the opponent comes inside our box? We are going to use manual jockey. Like I said, that is only the L2 button. If I were to do running jockey, there is a big chance a good opponent will beat me with control sprint or left stick dribbling. Although this opponent is also good, it's a draft final. So just hold your ground, right? We hold our ground and we get the ball back. This is all you need to do. Now, if you really want to know if you learned anything from this video, then answer this question. See, what should I do? My fullback is out of position and I am left with 2 center backs and there are 3 players attacking me. What is your answer? I will tell you what your answer should be. Do not overcommit with Akanji, and with Kunde, run back. Cover the cross so when Yedder will not be able to hit a volley or a header. And we do exactly that. We cover all the possible threats and we get the ball back. Now, if you want to learn the most overpowered attacking move on FC24, then click here.